Daniel Negreanu is looking down at 6-5 offsuit, but he's up against his nemesis of 20 years, Phil Ivey, who's holding King-Jack suited. Ivey raises to 75,000. Most players would probably fold in Daniel's spot.
No choice, can't fold it. Gotta see a flop in the big blind.
There's the call. So it's Daniel versus Phil.
Ivey is 64% favorite for now, but the flop comes 8-6-6 and Negreanu hits trips.
8 of hearts.
I don't see Phil falling for this.
Phil checks too. I don't know how, but he can somehow feel Daniel is strong here.
A king on the turn.
Now I see him falling for it a little.
Negreanu wants Phil second-guessing every assumption. Wants him trapped between is he bluffing and is he setting me up? What looks like hesitation is actually misdirection. This is less about cards, more about control.
Daniel leads. Phil now with top pair.
Even if you think Daniel has a 6, you can't just go folding top pair.
Negreanu's sizing here leaves Ivey about 3.5 to 1 on a call. And with top pair, that's usually a no-brainer. But what Daniel's really doing here is laying the groundwork for the river. He's planting the seed that says, if you call now, you're going to have to call big later. This is psychological compounding. Pressure applied in stages. Daniel is hoping that Phil did indeed hit that king on the turn, and he's going to try to make him sweat like a maniac.
He calls. The river is a jack.
Wow, Daniel is running better than Prefontaine.
Daniel value bets his trips. Phil forced to call with top 2.
Nope.
So obvious you have a 6. Got 350.
The trip 6s. Phil shows King Jack for top 2. Daniel's trip 6s take 5.
Good call, good call. Good thing you didn't raise. That was smart. You know what you're doing.
Hellmuth kicks things off with pocket deuce. This is a hand that only someone as wild as Phil Hellmuth can play when faced with a raise. Little does he know, his aggression will end up making him mad once again.
You were like drawing dead.
Right after making the call, Hellmuth plays one of his special cards. Complete shithousery. He directly calls out his opponent for drawing dead and bluffing him. Let's see if it will work out. Perkins completely unbothered by Hellmuth's antics calls with 8-4 suited. I guess these must be his lucky numbers, or else I don't see a reason why he would go three-way with these cards. The flop is here, and oh boy, does it deliver some drama. We have 5 with 2 jacks. Now it can be anyone's game. Let's see what Hellmuth will do here. With Perkins and Williams both showing weakness with their checks, Hellmuth will want to take control of the pot. To do that, he instantly fires a bet for $4,000. Perkins with his 8-4 suited didn't have to think too long about what to do next, and does what every one of us would do in this spot and folds. Williams, on the other hand, didn't think at all. He snap-called the bet as if he is holding the nuts and is just waiting for Hellmuth to bloat the pot some more. The turn delivers a queen of clubs, which makes things even more interesting. Now Williams has an open-ended straight draw and is looking stronger than ever in this hand. Even though the turn improved his hand, Williams still decides to check in order to see how Hellmuth will play it out first. And that's exactly what Hellmuth was waiting for. After no more than a few seconds of thinking, he fires another 4,000 bet, trying to pressure Williams out of seeing the river. For better or for worse, Williams almost snap calls the bet, which means he either thinks Hellmuth has nothing or is just feeling super lucky.
Even a 5 or a queen can counterfeit Phil's hand.
The turn delivers a king, which completely shifts the game, and Williams is now in the lead. Make sure to watch until the end to see Hellmuth going crazy after the showdown.
King. Here it comes.
That's the ejector seat straight out of Goldfinger. Yums.
Moron, mother.
You're just not believable anymore, okay? Stop.
Hellmuth kicks things off with pocket kings. He was getting a bad beat after bad beat on this table. So now his fortunes seem to be turning around.
Hellmuth with kings now? Well, he's lipped it a bunch. Let's see if he keeps it balanced.
Hey, come on, just min-raise
he's gonna raise
Oh
it.
my God,
Raise it up
why?
to 8.
After 3 folds, we reach Hellmuth with his king 4 suited. It must be his lucky hand or something, because he will call Hellmuth's bet. Unfortunately for him, though, Stanley, who is looking down on these juicy queens, is going to.
Raise.
Raise it. 5,200.
There's the 3 bet. Just a call from Phil. No 4 bet. Getting the other people out. That's going to bring Keating in, I'm sure it does.
Hellmuth is probably silently screaming from happiness on the inside. This 3-bet is perfect for him, and he snap calls it. The real question is, why would Keating and Chamath pay this steep price with such marginal hands? But that, I will leave to you, the viewer. The flop comes 8-7-8 rainbow. It might not be perfect because sometimes pair of 7s or 8s gets through this 3-bet to see the flop. But Hellmuth should be reasonably happy with how it turned out for now. Stanley bets $5,000 again, and this time out, only Hellmuth will make the call, with Keating and Chamath finally taking the smart and right option of folding those weak hands.
And the queen on the turn. Oh, we're going to see some steam.
Gentlemen, I can officially attest to the fact that Hellmuth is probably the unluckiest player I have ever seen. This queen is about to wipe the calmness off of Hellmuth's face. The only question left is, will Choi play it so he extracts maximum value plus a bonus of Hellmuth's rage at the end?
21.
All right, 21,000.
Wow. I have a bad feeling you have me, but I have an overpair.
Yep.
Come on, this motherfucking goddamn fucking queen.
What's that?
Everybody limps to Negreanu's big blind, happy to take an almost family pot with the loose cannon.
Buddy, he shows you nothing. He showed me a full house.
And there goes Tony G. See ya.
The flop comes rainbow, but both Negreanu and Hellmuth hit top pair. Wiggins and Daniel check. Lack attacks the standard range poke on this dry board, hoping no one has a queen. Hellmuth immediately bumps it to protect the queen and tacks any potential draws, denying price to gutters. Wiggins gets out of the way. Daniel now springs the trap and re-raises to more than $11,000.
Phil lock. See ya.
And tries to rep a bigger queen at Phil's, and it sets the tone that the big blind can still own boards that strike his defending range. Phil, with queen 9 in position, makes the call. He beats every bluff, ties some value, and thinks Daniel can be overprotecting a queen or leaning on fold equity. The turn pairs the board with the 2 of diamonds. That card massively reduces the number of value combos Daniel must fear. But more importantly, the pair deuce kills a lot of Phil's semi-bluff equity and makes it harder for Phil to credibly have a monster. Daniel fires 12,000. This bet is thin for value plus protection, denies free cards, and prevents Phil from realizing with hands that raised flop light. Phil calls again, which is consistent with his plan to bluff catch capped lines and keep Daniel honest on rivers. The river is the 7 of clubs, a relative brick that doesn't complete the major straight draws. Daniel checks.
A queen. Me too. No kicker. Ah, I screwed that up. I should have moved in on the river. Damn it. God, I'm so unlucky. Stupid. I didn't reel the deuce on the turn.
Deuce on the turn
So
saves your
sick.
ass.
He's supposed to bet there. I'm going to move it in. Who are these guys? Where do they come from? Sick.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on King-Queen offsuit. The table is 4-way after Tony G opens, and Viffer, Negreanu, and Scott Seaver all come along. That matters because equities flatten in multi-way pots. Single pair hands lose value while nutted, and draw heavy holdings gain. Tony G's range from early position in this lineup still contains suited connectors.
This is room for everyone to keep improving.
I mean, the way you guys all play, there's certainly tons of room.
Yeah.
Scott calls.
I'm going to go with an old Hellmuth trick. Watch this, gentlemen. Check in the dark. How do you fade that? Seriously. Check in the dark. I don't even want to see what's coming.
Checking through is revealing. On this texture, the pre-flop raiser has a lot of one pair and gut shot combinations that dislike being raised by 3 players.
See how that worked? Because if I wouldn't have done that, they would have been more scared. My turn, right?
Daniel's still open-ended.
Did you qualify?
Yes. I've qualified pretty comfortably at this point. Question is, how much do I want to put in there?
You checked.
No, I'm not. I'm not, for sure.
You're not checking?
Yeah. If you're folding any bet, you can just do that now. I'm going to put in...
The turn is the 7 of spades, a huge card for Tony G's side of the range, and a bad one for capped checkbacks. Negreanu leads $3,600 into the field, a small sizing that targets folds from the Broadway airballs, and denies equity to Queen 9, 9-8, and the club draws. Scott's call with Queen Jack keeps dominated queens in, but the raise from Tony G to $14,000 is the pivotal data point. After a street of passivity, that raise is heavily weighted to value.
If I win the pot, I'll give you your money back.
Negreanu's call with king-queen looks ambitious only if you ignore blocker logic. He removes the queen that completes Tony G's higher straight and retains outs to the ace or 9 to make his own. Scott correctly recognizes he's in kicker jail and releases.
Wow, that was a big sweat.
Took a long time. That speech really got him.
He made a big laydown just now.
The river is the 9 of diamonds. Range-wise, it's a dagger for Tony G. His made straight from the turn remains a straight, but Negreanu's king-queen now upgrades to the higher straight. When Negreanu fires $35,000, the story is polarized between exactly that high straight and bluffs that bricked clubs or random queen X that tried to push Tony G off a one-pair hand.
Are you also offering my 4,800 back if you...
Tony calls and Daniel wins a $100,000 pot.
I had the nuts on the turn. Wow, well done.
Daniel Negreanu is looking down on ace-9 offsuit. Negreanu clocks the dynamic immediately. Wiggins is the table's loose cannon, splashing around, loving post-flop control, and hating big, uncomfortable decisions. Negreanu's plan is simple. Lean on that psychology and the betting patterns it produces. Pre-flop, Negreanu opens to $1,600 with ace-9 offsuit, a hand that prints against wide callers and keeps his range uncapped. Lack and Tony G both flat, inviting the very scenario Negreanu wants. A multi-way pot where discipline and range construction matter more than raw cards. Wiggins completes from the big blind with king-queen, already signaling he'd rather see streets than narrow ranges.
Tony G checks.
I'm gonna bet 5,000.
Wiggins does what loose cannons do, fires $5,000 to protect and find out where he is. Negreanu only calls. That flat does 3 things at once. It keeps Lack in a dominated, second-best world. If he sticks around, it conceals bluffs and value under the same hood, and it sets a trap for the sizing tells Wiggins tends to give on later streets. Lack gets out of the way, and we go heads up. The turn is the 5 of clubs.
I respect you as equal as I respect Doyle, man. But you're not slacking up on me at all. You really gonna make sure that, you know what I'm saying, you making sure I wear my stripes on this table.
That's right.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
A total brick for the main draws. Watch the bet sizing. Wiggins downgrades to a $2,500 blocker. That's the cap Negreanu was waiting for. Into $17,400. A tiny stab screams one-pair pot control, not a hand eager to face heat. Negreanu raises to $12,500.
You beat me in the pot right there.
So
he's leveraging position, fold equity, and his ace blocker. He makes it harder for the loose cannon to have the very hands that could comfortably 3-bet. The call, not a re-raise, confirms the cap. The river pairs the jack with the jack of hearts, killing some 2-pair combos and leaving most draws bricked. Wiggins checks, and Negreanu goes for the throat with $35,000.
Oh, man, you really try to pull the trigger there, didn't you, man? Caught the jack, didn't you? Caught the jack. You had it the whole time, didn't you?
No comment.
Too late, you already nodded your head yes. I
Say
fold.
what?
I fold. You nodded your head yes, real quick. Or what? Too fast for me.
Cannett opens the button to $120,000 with pocket aces, a standard, linear raise that wants calls from dominated aces and broadways. Haxton defends the big blind, getting a great price. That defend thrives versus late position opens. It flops backdoor straights, occasional 2-pair, and the jack of clubs is a premium blocker that unlocks strong semi-bluff lines on club boards. Effective stacks are deep enough that Haxton's plan is realize equity first, attack later.
Wow, what a flop. Top set for Cannett, royal flush draw for Ike.
On the flop, Cannett smashes top set and nut club density, c-bets tiny, keeping his whole range intact and denying equity from random hands. With 1 club and no made hand yet, Haxton's raise would isolate himself against nut clubs and boats. Calling is superior. He realizes equity with his jack-high club while keeping every worse club and many red card bluffs from Cannett inside the pot. The turn is the 7 of clubs, and Haxton arrives with the flush. Checking is mandatory. His range needs check calls to protect earlier passivity, and it invites bets from 1 club hands and overpairs without a club. Top set without a club hates facing a check raise, and his turn checking range is heavy on exactly what Haxton targets. The river pairs the queen, double pairing the board with ace and queen. That card is far better for Cannet than for Haxton. It promotes ace-queen and pocket queens to boats, and leaves many single-club hands stuck as one pair. Haxton leads 450,000 into roughly 590,000, avoiding torching value versus boats. Cannet responds by shoving for Haxton's effective stack, polarizing to full houses or an extremely rare bluff. Given the turn check, his credible bluffs are thin. A jack-high flush is strong in a vacuum, but not against this line and texture.
You win.
Let's go.
Show me the bluff. It would be a lot of fun.
Don't do it.